So in any event, they invented brain death mainly to get organs, but then also so they don't waste money on treating people who aren't ever going to get a job, who are just going to live and not die. And so to see what brain death is, it's primarily a way to get organs.
No, it's no different than what they did in Germany.
It's exactly what they did in Germany.
That's what I was saying.
It's exactly what they did in Germany. And actually, in my research many years ago, when you had to do the research by going to what we call the stacks in the library to get the old from certainly from all children, but especially the people who are 16 to 30. See, and you cannot get any organs from a cadaver. Every organ that's transplanted is a healthy organ, and you can only get healthy organs from living persons. You cannot get any organs for transplant from a cadaver. Everybody who has their organs taken, they're all dissected alive. That it's a form of slavery. They've made slaves of all of us. It's involuntary servitude, what they've done. I started a special care nursery at Cardinal Glenner Children's Hospital in 1963. And we were instrumental we helped invent the ventilator. We invented how to take blood pressure on premature babies. We were the ones that invented nutrition in the vein. We identified the need for magnesium, the need for zinc, the need for copper. Wow. And we did it with metabolic beds. We did every intake and output and did these things. So we were a leader in the field of neonatology. The hospital still is a leader. I started to investigate brain death, and it took about 2 years till I understood the language of brain death. Brain death is a lie. It's a lie that's been told over and over again, so people don't even realize it's a lie anymore. But it's been a lie from the beginning, continues to be a lie. The way it occurred was that Christian Bernard did the first heart transplant in South Africa in 1967. 3 days later, they did the second heart transplant. It was done in Brooklyn, New York. And what they did is they cut the beating heart out of a 3-day-old baby and transplanted it into an 18-day-old baby. And at the end of their surgeries, a short time after the end of their surgeries, both of those babies were dead. It was illegal, it was immoral. And so they had to do something to make it legal. And so what they did is they set up a committee at Harvard, and the committee invented brain death. The committee did not do studies on dogs or cats or rats. They didn't collect data on human beings, they just invented brain death. And they had no patient data, they had no basic science studies. A lot of people think that brain death means flat brainwaves. They're not even required to do brainwave testing. They studied 9 patients, and 2 of the 9 still had brainwave activity. And then they concluded no longer is it necessary to look at brainwaves, so it's not required to look for brainwave activity.
So when they're doing the transplantation on people they say are brain dead,
they're all alive.
They're all alive
Yeah.
and completely recoverable.
They're all alive. You cannot.
So they're harvesting organs out of people who are in some way conscious. They just can't communicate.
Well, consciousness.
When they feel pain.
Consciousness and pain. It's one thing not to demonstrate consciousness, and then we use words like unconscious. But unconscious does not mean that there's no consciousness. It just means that we do not observe consciousness, and there's a difference. Just because a person can't demonstrate pain doesn't mean they don't have pain. You know, a very good example of that is they give paralyzing agents when they take the organs, so that they don't move and they don't squirm.
So horrible.
And even if they don't move and don't squirm, when they cut on them, their heart rate goes up and their blood pressure goes up, which is the response to pain. but they can't demonstrate that they have pain.
Because they're paralyzed. They've medically
They paralyze
paralyzed them.
them, yeah.
So they can't respond by
Right.